Hello, well, no, this is Wolfstar Games, and welcome back to more Robotics Notes Elite. Last time, we continued hanging out with Nae, but this time it was more game-focused than anything. And last we actually left off, we switched over to the point of view of Akiho after she had learned that Kaito is kind of going on a date with Nae, which seems to be a big blow to Akiho. So I really wonder what she's thinking. So let's find out, shall we? It takes less than 3 minutes to walk from Kai's house to mine. Just as I arrive back home, Kai passes by on his scooter, honking his horn. He waves at me, so I wave back. I wonder why. As I watch his back grow distant, I feel something grow tight, deep inside of my chest. This cut her pretty deep, didn't it? I suddenly realize that I'm squeezing the little Fink attached to my phone droid. I think back on Kai's earlier attitude. He was going on and on about games. It didn't seem like he was into Tanoji-san as a woman, but as a fellow gamer. Right, yeah. I mean, even though that he did tell Akiho that he's going on pretty much going on a date with Nae, he's more interested in Nae as a gamer more than anything. I recall the past. I was in grade school, and my sister still lived on the island. And that was a time when Misa-ne was more of a gamer then. Which would explain why Kaito sees a lot of Misa-ne in Nae. This CG again. She loved playing games. She was especially into fighters. And of course, she always taught me and Kai how to play since we were constantly shadowing her. I mean, she was around a lot more then, so that's only natural. But I'm really bad at things that require fast, instantaneous responses. So I never improved. Okay. That explains why she never got into gaming. It's like she got way more into robots. Kai, on the other hand, well, he just kept getting better and better. And suddenly, before I knew it, he and Misa were communicating using dedicated FG lingo. Fighting game lingo, yeah. It's a language I've never understood. It's a raw language that only people who live in that world can understand. I mean, there's a lot of game lingo out there, so... And with fighting games in particular, that definitely has a certain lingo to it than other games, for sure. Whenever they started talking like that, I just space out, alone. It felt like I was lost in some foreign country all by myself. I was lonely. Oh. So she felt that she didn't fit in? I mean, that's That's rather sad. It kind of felt like Misa was being taken away from me. I was even jealous of Kai. Oh. So Akiho felt that she was kind of losing her sister even then. That is sad. Then to have her older sister, who she loves and adores and looks up to for her to start having a disconnect with her at such a young age, that would kind of cause like a little bit of a rift in their relationship, and feels like that Misa-ne has been just gone from Akiho's life since then, and even more so now, seeing that Misa-ne is not even living on the island anymore, and that she's in Tokyo all the time. So there's even more of a disconnect. So I'm really starting to feel bad for Akiho. So whenever the two of them would start rambling about or playing games, I'd watch the anime Dad let me borrow. The Gunvarel anime, right? That's how I became so knowledgeable about robot anime. Right. But I still felt left out. Felt like she was an outsider. I'm sure the reason my chest hurts so much right now is because I feel the same as I did back then. Yeah, it's like those feelings never go away. Okay, well that was rather interesting, and very. It tugged at my heartstrings. Let's put it that way. So that was I was expecting a little more than that, but that was actually enough to get to understand what Akiho is feeling. The vast sandy shores of Nagahama coast are, as one would expect, deserted. The beach extends for a ways, but it doesn't stretch out in a perfectly straight line. I can't see far out. If we go farther north, my school's surfing club will be practicing. The school has a surfing club? That is such a cool club. It's like that. I mean, being landlocked in a state like Montana would never have like that kind of a club in my school, that in my high school that I went to. So, but that is an awesome idea for a club. But the area we're in is devoid of people. I haven't come to the beach since elementary school. Maybe that's just unique to me. Ever since I started getting attacks, I stopped hanging outside. Right, for fear of that if he was to get an attack, especially if Akio's not around, who would help him if no one sees him getting this attack. Or even if someone does see him having this attack, would they even help in the first place?
いいですね。無人の砂浜とコバルトブルーの海。
I turn around when I hear Nae-san's voice. She had initially left to change. Oh, that's a very nice bikini you have, Nae. Nae-san's in a bikini, boldly exposing her slender body. I mean, what? Is that like a flower on her bikini? Looks like a flower. It's like this music here or sound effect. It's like, boy, fan service much? Wow. She has a very healthy, extremely sexy figure. I mean, Nae is definitely all grown up, right? My eyes can't help but be drawn to her. And of course, being with Kaito being a teenage boy, it's like, of course he can't help it.
カイトくん、あんまりジロジロ見ないでください。
Are you getting embarrassed, Nae? Cheeks getting a little red.
いや、綺麗だなと思って。
Alright, she is very pretty.
ありがとうございます。
You're welcome.
高校生の男の子にそう言ってもらえると、ちょっとだけ自信ついちゃいます。
Wouldn't it be more of a confidence booster to be complimented by someone her age, though? I mean, she's older than Kaito. So, that's interesting that she's saying that getting complimented by a high school boy is a confidence booster. She laughs and rubs her upper arm.
腕だけちょっと焼けちゃってるんですよね。自転車焼けっていうのかな。
Biker's tan? Not entirely sure. I mean, it may be just because of the model sprite, but she actually looks very pale. Her skin looks very pale. So, she doesn't look like she has a tan at all.
日焼け止めは一応塗ってたんですが。
Smart idea. So I guess, especially if it's like really hot out, that's a good idea. And as someone who burns easily, it's like I have that you know, red hair gene because I'm part Scots-Irish, so I tend to burn rather easily. So if I'm outside for a long time and don't have any sunscreen out, yeah.
ナエさん、どこで着替えてきたの？
着替え？そこで上に着てた服を脱いだだけですよ。
Oh, she was wearing her bikini under her clothes. Smart idea.
もしかして、あらかじめ水着をつけてきてたわけ？
Nae-san nods with a bright smile. Well, I'm no different. If I take my shorts off, I have my bathing suit on underneath.
でもいいのかな？
Of course.
何が？
だってカイトくんってアキホちゃんと付き合ってるんでしょ？
Oh, she thinks Kaito and Akiho are boyfriend and girlfriend? Well, of course that's not the case, but she doesn't know that.
いや、付き合ってないよ。
I flash her a wry smile.
そうなんですか？
Yeah, neither of us are dating each other. And of course, for that matter, don't have any kind of relationship with anyone.
まあ、よく勘違いはされるけどね。
Yeah, I bet they do get that all the time. Akio and I are always together. And people always think that of the two of them. Yeah, and seeing that they're of the opposite sex. But that's not because we're dating. It's because we both get attacks. They're there for each other when they get their attacks, yeah. We just watch each other's backs.
でも恋人はいるんでしょ？
Nope.
いいえ。
ふーん、確かにカイトくん変わってますもんね。
How does that make Kaito weird exactly?
ってそこで納得しないでよ。
Yeah. Said the guy totally aware of that.
そういうナエさんはどうなの？東京に恋人とかいるんじゃない？
Seeing who Nae's father is, I assume that she doesn't have a boyfriend. It's like her father, Tanoji Yugo, would be very protective and about his daughter. So he would be very selective in who would be worthy to date his daughter. And yeah, seeing that this is Japan that we're dealing with, I'm sure that things are different over in Japan concerning relationships like that.
それが全然全く。
Guy friend. I mean that I mean boyfriend, guy friend, I guess they could mean the same thing, but usually when a girl says a guy friend, don't they usually mean that she just has friends who are guys?
お父さんがやたら厳しくてですね。しかも見た目がタコ坊主みたいなので。
Looks like an octopus. What? I'm very confused and baffled by that. I called it that her dad would be very strict and protective about his daughter. An octopus?
友達の男の子を家に連れて行こうものなら親の敵かっていうぐらい睨みつけてくるんです。
Right, yeah. It definitely would.
高校時代の私は勉強の虫だったこともあって、青春の甘酸っぱい1ページとは全く無縁でしたよ。はあ。
Some teenagers never go through the experience of dating. I mean, speaking as someone who doesn't have a whole lot of experience in relationships, I've only ever had one girlfriend in my life. You know, when I was a junior in high school. If you don't account for the fact that I had a quote-unquote girlfriend in 5th grade, but other than that, I mean, it wasn't until high school that I actually had a girlfriend. But, you know.
いかんいかん。湿っぽくなっちゃってるじゃないですか。
Nae-san slaps her own cheeks to re-energize herself.
ともかく、カイトくんが彼女いないなら、堂々とデートしていいっていうことですね。
Gal pal. Yeah, don't have a gal pal.
いいと思うよ。それじゃ、せっかく二人きりになれたことだし。
Here, here. I swiftly whip out my phone droid from the bag around my waist.
いざ勝負といこうじゃないの。
Except they went there to swim. Primarily. They're also going to do some gaming. The sound of waves coming to and fro rings out. The back and forth rocking sounds act as the perfect background music for our silence. Nae-san stands there dazed.
勝負って、ここでキルバラの対戦ですか？
I mean, that is what he means, yes.
そう。他に何があると？
私は海水浴に来たんだって、ゲームをしに来たわけじゃないんですが。
Yeah. I mean, that was the whole point to coming to the beach.
海水浴をたまにしつつ、がっつり対戦でしょ。
カイトくんってやっぱり変な人ですね。
Yeah, he is. Nae-san says with a bitter smile. Then she begins to stretch out.
この島の人はマイペースな人が多いみたい。
Yeah, and Kaito is definitely one of those people.
私も結構のんびりしてる方なので、そういうペースは苦手じゃありませんが、さすがにカイトくんは極端すぎですよ。
All her stretching is making me want to stretch.
じゃあ本気で海に入る気？
本気だろうと本気じゃなかろうと入ります。
Nae-san flashes me a cunning smile.
カイトくんもね。
She suddenly grabs my arm and starts running toward the waves. It's like, come on, Kaito!
で、待ったポケコンが
Yeah, don't want his phone droid to get wet. My bag was still wrapped around my waist. If I go in like this, it's gonna get drenched in seawater and ruined. The thing might be waterproof, but better safe than sorry. Sadly, Nae-san rushes full speed ahead toward the waves. With me in tow, of course. The momentum causes me to trip over myself and plunge face first into the water. Ooh. My mouth gets filled with salty seawater. I'll never forget the time when I was 8 years old. My family and I went to visit friends of the family. And, you know, my parents are from Jersey, so, you know, we went to the beach, and I went out into the sea and wound up with a mouthful of seawater. Ever since then, I've hated the taste of salt water. So, least to say, it's like I've never drunk salt water, never gargled with it. It's like I won't do it. Anyway, I kind of got on a weird little tangent there. My mouth gets filled with salty seawater, and I immediately hack it all out. I finally managed to get up on my knees and pull my face from the water.
冷たい。でも気持ちいいですね。
Nae-san is frolicking about joyfully. I mean, I think my my theory of, like, you know, who is she really, is diminishing in that this is actually Nae. It's like, I can't really see Nae being anyone else. At this very moment, she looks nothing like the mature adult who works day to day. No, she looks like she's our age. Like she's just a normal girl. I mean, she is. As I watch her beaming smile...
カイ、勝負しようよ。
And all of a sudden he is thinking about Misa-ne. I wonder why. But I begin to remember the girl I could never reach, no matter how much I extended my arm. Her voice, her words, her figure, her gestures. I remember it all so vividly. I remember the time when Misa-ne was still on the island. When Akiho and I were still in elementary school. When we came to play at the beach. Wait, so this here, this CG was supposed to be at the beach? I've always looked up to Misa-ne. She was the cool friend that was older than me. She was always the one walking ahead of me. I can kind of relate to Kaito in a way. Because, I mean... When I was a kid, I had a number of babysitters, but there was one that I really loved. And I always still remember her fondly. And you know, every now and then I wonder how she's doing. She was always the one walking ahead of me. And no matter how much I chased after her, I could never catch up. It wasn't just the age gap. It was her immense talent. And because I could never catch up to her, I only grew to admire her more as each day passed. I wanted to accomplish something, anything, and have her acknowledge me. So when I was little, I secretly promised myself, if I ever caught up to Misa-ne in some way. Well, he has. I mean, she was relentless with him, with battling him in fighting games. And now he's the exact same way in the present day. So he has caught up to Misa-ne in that way. I'd confess my feelings to her. His feelings of love? I can only assume that his feelings towards Misa-ne, at least back then, was a feeling of love toward her. For as long as I can remember, I've always been serious about whatever I did. Anyway, I didn't care what it was. I just wanted to catch up to Misa-ne and surpass her. I started playing games as one of those potential paths forward. But as if to ridicule my desperate drive to succeed, Misa-ne ended up challenging me in all sorts of ways. To this day, I don't know if she poked fun at me because I was little, or because she truly loved to play games. I mean, we haven't gotten a whole lot of who Misa-ne is as a character, but I don't think that she was poking fun at Kaito. So I want to safely say that she truly loved to play video games with him. Misa-ne was always about the challenge. Even when we came out here to swim back in elementary school, she was always about the challenge. Beach volleyball, swimming contests, barehanded jellyfish fishing. Oh, wow. That's rather bold to do. Barehanded jellyfish fishing? A jellyfish sting you. There was no chance that a snotty little grade schooler like me could win against the genius high schooler Misa-ne. She made a mess of me. I don't know if I'd say that. As for Akiho, she never took part in the challenges. She just watched from afar or cheer for Misa-ne. or in this case with this CG, just, completely pass out and fall asleep. In the end, the promise I made to myself went unfulfilled. Misa-ne ended up going to college in Tokyo after she graduated from high school. When she left, she made that promise. He made that promise to Misa-ne to take care of Akiho. It's like, this is all like, sad and, bittersweet memories. But at the same time, it's like, this is all being, equal to that of Nae, with her leaving in a month, and with how good Nae is at kill ballads. So it's like, I really wonder where this is going with, Nae being equal to that of Misa-ne in Kaito's mind. The words she delivered to me before her departure marked the end of my young love story. And it's as if Nae has filled that role, filled that gap, as it were, that he's been missing for so long. As soon as she said those words to me, I realized it. That Misa-ne never really cared about me like that in the first place. I mean, how could she, really? I mean, she was a teenager at that point. Kaito was just a little kid. So, of course, the feelings that Misa-ne will be way different than Kaito's feelings for her. I was just a kid in the neighborhood who she was just pals with. Those words made me realize that that was the extent of my existence to her. Her final words on this island had nothing to do with me. She simply entrusted her little sister to me. So, like, in a way, kind of passing the torch on to Kaito to be, like, the big brother that Akio has never had. Don't get me wrong. I could and still do understand that she trusted me as one of her close childhood friends. That's why she was able to leave Akiho to me. But those weren't the words I so longed for. Yeah, he expected things to go way differently back then. But, as fate would have it, I was happy to be relied on, and to this day, I've stayed faithful to that promise. I mean, that really says something about Kaito's fortitude. But the fact remains that I finally understood. The moment my love story ended. Her final words, signaling that I could never catch up to her. I felt left behind. And that's also how Akio feels. They're the two that were left behind by Misa-ne. So I can only assume that Kaito also feels lonely as much as Akiho does. This is putting an interesting light on Akiho and Kaito, and a slightly different light on Misa-ne. At least I think so, because it's... I feel like... I don't know, I feel that with Misa-ne, you know, with all this mystery revolving around her, I feel that we're eventually going to learn something huge about her that will completely change how Kaito and Akiho feel about her, and also how I feel about her as a character. And that feeling has never really gone away. Of course it hasn't. Or maybe I'll continue to feel this way for as long as I remain on this island. There's not much for the two of us to do on this empty beach. If we were dating, we could flirt by the shore or sit shoulder to shoulder in the sand, chatting away endlessly. I mean, you are technically on a date, Kaito, so why not try to flirt with Nae? She might like it. But Nae-san and I aren't like that. Had I brought a watermelon with me, we could have split it like the good old days. Or if we had a beach ball or floats, maybe we'd have something to do. But since we decided to come here yesterday, we didn't really prepare anything. Although Kaito came prepared to play Kill Ballad, so there is that. I don't even know where we're gonna get lunch. Needless to say, there aren't any beach houses here. The closest store is about 10 minutes away by scooter. Anyway, we've already exited the water. It's only been an hour since we arrived.
まさかこんなに早く自分がバテるとは思わなかったよ。
I haven't been to the beach in a while, so I've totally forgotten how to enjoy the ocean.
子供の頃は何時間でもはしゃいでいられたんでしょうけどね。
We lay a vinyl sheet out on the sand and sit on it. Nae-san has been applying sunscreen to herself. She apparently forgot to put it on before leaving the dorm.
でもこのちょっと気だるい感覚久しぶりかも。海に遊びに行くと必ずこんな風に疲れちゃいますよね。
This may be a random thought, but I was just thinking, what would her father think if he were to see Kaito with his daughter? He would freak the hell out. I just know it.
で、帰り道はとっても眠くなるんです。
Nae-san doesn't seem to be the least bit bored.
さてカイトくん、悪いんですけど背中にオイル塗ってもらえます？適当にさっとでいいんで。
Sure. She hands me the sunscreen. Oh, her back, but just this line. It's like getting a little warm there, Kaito. Nae-san is wearing a bikini with extremely low coverage. Her back is practically bare. Hell, I don't even think I've seen my childhood friend's back this up close and personal recently.
俺にオイル塗らせたいならさ、一勝負してよ。
ここでそれを言いますか。
Yeah, really.
男の子的にはこういうの嬉し恥ずかしドキドキイベントであって何が何でもやりたがるものだと思ってました。
I mean, she called it, yes. I mean, heart pounding. That is definitely right so far with Kaito. He's like, oh, her back, Definitely heart pounding for Kaito. Embarrassing? Not entirely sure.
もしかしてカイトくん女子が好きじゃないとか？
I mean, we don't really know. I mean, so far this game, we have not gotten any inkling if he's into the opposite sex. Really.
なんでそうなるわけ？っていうかさ、ナエさんはナエさんでそんなこと言い出すってことは俺のこと誘ってるの？
I mean, I can see why he would think that, but it's a little hard to put sunscreen on your back by yourself.
どうでしょう。
Wow. Is it getting a little warm in here? And just like that, she's acting like an older, more experienced woman. I mean, she is older than him. I don't want her to get the wrong idea about me, so I just opt just help her. Probably a smart idea. I put some sunscreen on my palms and gently apply it to her skin. Little cold there, Nae? Nae-san's whole back twitches. I guess it must tickle a little. Or that. Her skin is elastic, smooth, warm, and feels good to the touch. Don't get any bright ideas there, Kaito.
丁寧に塗らなくてもいいですよ。適当で。
Just put it on wherever. Alright. I can feel the vibration of her voice through her skin when she speaks.
じゃ、塗り終わったら勝負ね。
本当にしつこいな、カイトくんは。
Very much so.
ちなみにこういう時ってさ、普通は寝そべってビキニのブラ紐も取ってから塗るみたいなパターンよく見るけど。
I think so. But let's see what Nae says.
それは日焼け止めじゃなくて日焼けオイルの方ですよ。
Okay, right. That would make more sense, actually.
こんがり小麦色に焼きたい時に塗るやつです。
へえ、なるほどね。
I hand the sunscreen back to Nae-san after doing a quick sweep across her back like she told me to.
ありがとう。
I don't know how to say you're welcome in Japanese. I need to look that up.
どうでしたか？乙女の柔肌に触れた感想は。
Very nice. Right, Kaito?
ね、聞くのそれ。
Now he's getting embarrassed.
照れてますね、この子も。
She starts poking me with her finger. Since she's the one teasing me, I decide to unleash a light-hearted counterattack.
じゃあ感想。すべすべで柔らかくてマシュマロみたいでした。もっと触っていたかったです。
Like a marshmallow? Who uses that phrase? Your skin was smooth and soft like a marshmallow. What? I mean, I guess I can understand that similarity, but most people say, that their skin is smooth and soft like a baby's.
そうでしたか。
Now Nae's getting embarrassed. Nae? Now things have just gotten a little awkward for the two of them, hasn't it? Crap. I just think I dug my own grave. This is more embarrassing than I thought it'd be. Wait, why is Nae-san the one blushing? What happened to her whole mature, experienced woman thing? We sit in silence for a while. It's pretty awkward.
カイトくんは。
Am I what? Nae-san breaks the ice, but she's no longer blushing. She's kind of smiling, actually. But she also sort of looks like she's on the verge of tears. On the verge of tears? Why is she on the verge of tears? Her expression is somewhere in the middle.
私が東京に一度戻ると聞いて寂しがってくれましたけど。
And she wants to know why? Hmm.
まあね。
一緒に来ます？
Oh, I was not expecting her to ask that.
例えば私からそんな風に誘われたらどうしますか？
Well, this is an interesting development. Nae-san doesn't look at me. Instead, she gazes out at the horizon. What is she thinking? Is she actually coming on to Kaito? What is the meaning of this question? Or maybe she has some kind of ulterior motive, maybe, for asking him if he wants to come to Tokyo with her? I can't really see what that ulterior motive might be, but I guess that's a possibility that she would have one. I feel like she's looking into my heart. What, like she's taking advantage of him? I hope she's not. That would drastically change how I think about Nae. It feels like I don't understand Nae-san as well as I thought I did. I gently close my eyes. That day, 6 years ago, I was still a kid, and Akiho was entrusted to me. I couldn't chase her. I didn't have the means to chase after her. Right. But now that he's older, he does have a means to chase after Nae. But what about now? I could go if I wanted to. I could go alone even. Sure, yeah. Ignoring the specifics. I could go right this moment. No, I don't have any money, and I've done no prep. That's right, I'm not prepared. Back then, 6 years ago, if I could have, I would have wanted to go with her. Of course. I still feel that way now. That's not surprising, actually. But even then, what have I accomplished these past 6 years? I think I've been able to uphold the promise I made to Misa-ne. But back then, I gave up on my feelings, my hopes. I had to. You felt he had to give up on them? Why did he feel like he had to give up on his feelings and his hopes? I've had lots of chances to make them become a reality since. In 6 months, I graduate high school. But how much prep have I really done to follow her to Tokyo? And none, I'm guessing. I open my eyes. The sunlight briefly reflects off the sand.
わかんないかな。
That's the only answer I can squeeze out. I'm utterly hopeless.
そっか。カイト君はゲームする相手を求めているだけなのかもしれませんね。
I mean, he is. I mean, and if he does go along with her, that would be the reason why. Someone to play games with?
倒すべき相手がいないと本気になれないタイプ。
Yeah. He has a very one-track mind, especially when it comes to video games. And seeing that how good Nae is playing Kill Ballad, he wants that challenge. He's been missing that challenge since he's been missing that challenge since Misa-ne left. And now Nae has come into his life and has pretty much been the Misa-ne analog from the past. So it only makes sense. I don't think she's wrong. I don't think so either.
でも
Nae-san looks at me. The smile on her face is a little lonesome.
私はカイト君にとっての誰かの代わりにはなれませんよ。
It's like Nae has completely seen through Kaito. I mean, I feel like she is dead on. Kaito has been looking for a replacement for Misa-ne, and Nae is exactly that in terms of video gaming. She saw right through me. There we go. I knew it. She's on a different level. She's not just pretending to be an adult. She is an adult. That day, our date came to an abrupt end before noon. Nae-san told me that she had fun with her usual smile, but I knew better. I knew that she was just being polite. Kind of like letting him down easy. To the best of her ability, anyway. Nae-san is an adult. I'm still a child. That's all there is to it. It's like history repeating itself, sort of. Well, that was rather interesting. That went in a direction that I wasn't expecting. You know, with the memories of Misa-ne and all. And then for it to just kind of end abruptly like that, it was, yeah, a little, I don't know, it felt a little, like, disheartening a little bit. But, you know, it's like, as Kaito said, Nae is an adult. He's still a child. There's still nothing he can do about it. He can't stop her from leaving. and he can't go with her. Summer is about to end. It's not like there's a clear-cut day where summer actually ends, but the last day of August. The day that Nae is leaving. It's the last day of summer break for students. And for high school seniors, well, the end of summer holds a lot more meaning. Right.
Kaito-kun.
She calls out to me out of nowhere as I stare up at the sky by the TNSC bus stop. Always seeing Nae off?
相変わらず気配を消して近づいてきますね。
Before I even realize it, Nae-san is standing there.
こんなところで何してるんです？
Nae-san chuckles.
もしかして私のことをお見送りしてくれるとか。
I mean, it seems that way.
別にわざわざ来ることもないかなって思ったんだけどさ。根性の別れってわけでもないし。
Alright, she did say that she will be coming back. But it's like still, it's like that's a huge blow for Kaito.
ただほら、一応デートした身としてはね。
まさか一度だけで彼氏気分になっちゃうなんて思いませんでした。
Is that okay, Nae?
種子島の純朴な少年をかどわかしちゃいましたか？
どっちかっていうと、せっかく見つけた貴重な対戦相手がまたいなくなっちゃうのが寂しいよ。
Yeah, it's more like that for sure.
やっぱりゲームが第一なんですね、カイトくんは。
They are very much so.
もう行くの？
ええ、これから空港です。
俺の他に見送りはなし？
さっき挨拶はしてきましたし、二度と戻ってこないわけでもないですから。
Right.
次はいつ頃こっちに来る予定？
Well, didn't she already tell that to him when she's coming back? Well, it was like in a month.
10月にはもっと早くなるかもしれません。
Maybe earlier, okay. So maybe at the end of September?
このまま消えて戻ってこなくてさ、ナエさんは幻だったって言われても、俺不思議に思わないかも。
And she definitely was not an illusion. It's like not with her in a bikini, I'd say.
まるで俺たちが望んだ幻影みたいだったっていうか。
That we all secretly hoped for, or just you, Kaito?
お金を運んできた幸せな青い鳥みたいな。
That sounds very familiar.
それはっきり言っちゃう？せっかく遠回しな言い方したのに。
すみません。でも私はご都合主義のデウスエクスマキナなんかじゃありませんよ。
Deus Ex Machina. In Latin, it means God from the machine. It means something suddenly appears in the story and moves it forward with absolute godlike power.
カイトくんやアキホちゃんが頑張った結果、ロボワンの決勝戦の舞台に立ったんです。
Yes, very much so.
そこでのあなたたちを見なかったら、私はこの島に来なかったわけで。
Yeah, I figured that she saw the Robo One match.
この前さ、海に行った後、もう一度考えたんだ。 ナエさん俺に聞いたでしょ。一緒に東京に行くかって。
行きますか？まだ間に合いますよ。
I mean, he shouldn't. He shouldn't. I mean, that would be abandoning his promise to Misa-ne for one, if he did. And that would also be abandoning Akiho if he went with Nae. And you know, Akiho is already lonely enough as it is, and you know, for Kaito to leave just like that, that would be a huge blow to Akiho. I'm sure Kaito doesn't want to do that to her. She says brightly. If I said yes, she might actually take me with her.
俺、この島を出たいのか出たくないのか、どっちなんだろうって考えたんだ。ずっとこの島の時間から置き去りにされた感じが怖かった。焦りみたいなものがあったよ。
Impatient.
でもこの島が気に入ってたりもして、あんまり自分から出ていく気にもなれなくてさ。
And he can't find the motivation to leave. Even though that his motivation is leaving herself. So, yeah, I feel like that's kind of a dilemma. I mean, Nae is his motivation right now because because she's the gap that Kaito has been missing, and for her to leave, Kaito's motivation is leaving. It's like she's his motivation. If he were to leave because of Nae, that would throw everything out of place, I feel.
自分でもどっちなんだろうってわからなかった。
カイトくん。
だけど、ナエさんが言った言葉で気づいたんだよ。
And what's that?
俺はまだゲームをしていたいんだって。倒すべき相手をさ、倒しきれてないんだ。
Tajarin, who he thinks is Misa-ne?
この島の時間は止まってるように見えるけど、止まってなくて。俺の時間もさ、ちゃんと進んでるんだよ。だから、ここに留まっていても、立ち止まってることにはならないかなって思った。
It might sound like an excuse, but my rank is improving little by little. Hell, I'm second place worldwide. I'm only one spot away from my dream.
それが今の俺が出せる答えだよ。
Okay, so while his motivation, Nae, is leaving, he does have another secondary motivation. His dream of being number one in Kill Ballad. That's a really odd dream to have when you really think about it, but it's... I mean, I whatever floats Kaito's boat to have for a dream, right?
そうですか。
Nae-san is apparently taking a cab to the airport. She asked if I wanted to ride with her, but I said no. I came here by scooter, so it'd be a pain to get home if I left it here.
そうそう、これお土産に。
On my way over, I picked a hibiscus that was blooming in my house's yard. He did pick it after all. According to Mom, she didn't plant it. It bloomed there naturally. I probably should have let it be. But if it's going to wither away anyway, I wanted Nae-san to have it. Well, that's a very nice gesture.
ありがとうございます。
Nae-san brings her face close to mine after taking the flower. Oh. For a second, I thought she was going to kiss me. That's what I was thinking too. Honestly, it's like, is she gonna kiss him? Instead, our cheeks lightly touch. Honestly, this look on her face looks rather sad. Doesn't it? First the right, then the left. That was the Western greeting that Nae-san told me about. We don't exactly greet each other like that here. Nae-san seems bashful.
ひと夏のアバンチュールは今日で終わりですね。
Yes, unfortunately.
もうちょっと憧れのお姉さんで居続けてもよかったかな。
もしかしてまんざらでもなかった？
嘘嘘。帰らないと偉い人に怒られちゃいますから。
The big cheese heads. Is that how she refers to her her bosses, her higher ups? That's kind of funny.
それじゃあ1ヶ月後にまたお会いしましょう。
See you in a month.
おじゃり申せ？
そういう時はノッチよーだよ。
はい、ノッチよ。
Not Chio. Long after Nae-san has left by taxi, I stay behind at the TNSC, gazing up at the sky. I doubt I'll be able to see her plane from here, so I just imagine it in my head. I imagine Nae-san's plane disappearing into the deep blue sky. I wonder if it's as hot in Tokyo as it is here. I wonder if Misa-ne ever thinks about Tanegashima from over there. I notice a cicada's shell on the ground below the bench.
今日で夏も終わりか。
My hushed voice fades into the sea breeze. Oh! And that was an ending! Alright. Well. My first ending! Okay, so wow, this music is really loud, but really good. It's actually kind of hard to focus with that blasting in my ears. So, oh, wait a second. I believe this is the same song that played at the beginning. But yeah, so like I said, I understand that the game's endings are all canon. So now that I've gotten my first ending, I will go through and see how to progress to get the next ending. So, and I was linked a couple of spoiler-free guides to get the other endings. So I'll be looking at that now to going forward to fully experience this game's story. So this ending was really bittersweet, all told. But now the ending is now with this ending, it's I wonder if there's a title for this ending. Phase 5 cleared. CG library has been added to the menu. Sound library. Sound. I said that really weird. Sound libraries has been added. And movie library. Alright. A Tweepo alert section has been added to. Has been added to config. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Summer ends today. Okay. Well, oh. Okay, so there's 4 circles at the bottom here. So, okay. So, okay, here's all the extras. CG library. Okay, so of course there's a ton of CGs. Okay, so let's see, sound library. Of course I haven't heard everything yet. Composer's name is Abo Takashi. Okay. It's like that sound effect. I mean, Abo Takashi's music in this game is incredible, and I'm not really familiar with his work. I've never really heard his work before, but his music is awesome in this game. It's like I love the music in this game. The movie library. Okay, so these, there's only, let's see, 8, 12, there's only 12 movies? Okay. Nae ending. So I just got the Nae ending. 300 high priests wearing steel armor? Is that the name of the ending? Oh. TV animation mobile battler Gunval Ankh Striker. So, okay. If I go to my trophy lists here, Gunval Ankh Striker with the details for the for the trophy lists, for the trophy list of Robotics notes. When I saw that, I'm like, that's a interesting bit to have as your details for a trophy listing. I'm like, what the heck? Anyway, alright, so I guess that marks the ending of this episode then. So next time when I pick this up, we will be going through another route. So look forward to that. So I hope you all enjoyed watching, and thank you all for watching as well. And if you enjoyed the video and want to see more, like, favorite, and claw that subscribe button to become part of the pack. And as always, everyone, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you may be.